Dear friends, I am delighted to be with all of you for the 7th National Conference on Disability and to share some perspectives from the point of view of UNESCO. As you are, I'm sure, aware, approximately 15% of the world's population live with some form of disability, and there are an estimated 690 million people in the Asia and the Pacific region alone. COVID-19 has put all of us in an unprecedented situation and has overturned all institutional settings across the globe. And one of the most affected groups are persons and children with disabilities. The COVID-19 pandemic has deepened inequalities, exposed the fragility of our societies, and the crisis has revealed many underlying vulnerabilities. When it comes to education, which is the mainstay of the UNESCO mandate, it is important to note that the pandemic has affected over 91% of the world's student population. Many countries have therefore adopted remote practices to reduce the learning disruption, which has of course helped a large number of students. But the most vulnerable learners have poor digital skills, least access to the hardware and connectivity, which is a requirement for distance learning solutions implemented during school closures. Children with disabilities are facing an even greater challenge following the move to online teaching programs, and that includes digital exclusion and the risk of being left behind due to the absence of appropriate assistive equipment, access to internet, accessible materials, and support. Thus, the present scenario has put the most disadvantaged at risk of not only learning losses, but dropping out of the education system altogether. The crisis has brought a deeper understanding of the digital divide and related equity gaps, and this requires urgent attention. More than ever, we have a collective responsibility to support the most vulnerable and disadvantaged. UNESCO's vision is the creation of knowledge societies that are inclusive, pluralistic, equitable, open, and participatory for all citizens. Within the context of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and also Disability Inclusive Sustainable Development Goals, UNESCO recognizes and recommends the following. First, we need to include digital solutions not only to improve teaching and learning, which could be institutionalized in the aftermath of the pandemic, but to put equity and inclusion at their center to ensure all children benefit from them. We recommend also that teachers and learners be given access to free and open source technologies for teaching and learning, to ensure that children have better access to the internet combined with greater availability of learning materials that will maximize benefit of any digital solutions. We see also all over the world that governments and development partners must work better together to remove technological barriers by investing in digital infrastructure and lowering connectivity costs and greater investment in digital literacy for marginalized populations. Low-tech and no-tech approaches should not be forgotten for those who have limited access to technology. Overall, countries need to plan to ensure children from the poorest households will not be left behind. Again, more than ever, we have a collective responsibility to support the most vulnerable and disadvantaged, helping to reduce long-lasting societal breaches that threaten our shared humanity. And for that, we require a whole system approach, ensuring the development of inclusive ethos that support and develop children holistically. I am aware that today there will be several deliberations to explore and expand our understanding on this very important subject, and this is an important opportunity to advocate on this issue. With this, I thank Sarthak Trust for inviting me, and I wish everyone fruitful deliberations and outcomes. Dhanyavad.